Hey, welcome to another episode of Electrical Theology, Esoteric Life Coaching, where I'm here to help you take responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and emotions, and how to deal with those thoughts, actions, and emotions so we can live the life that we want and attract the things that we want and repel those things that we do not want. So this week we're basically going to touch on why you may feel that you're missing something in your life, especially in today's times in the 2022s here, is that things may seem destructive or that things seem to get more divisional. And we'll get into that today in this video. So why is it that you may think that you feel that something is missing in your life? Now, we've talked in the past videos about thingness and where does thingness come from? What is the origin and the organization of thingness? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch our previous videos. Where does thingness come from? And it'll describe more about thing. Basically, thing is person, place, or things, or anything, or something. It's all about the thing. The thing is just a thought. Thought's just energy. And so when we can take responsibility and ownership and authorship over our own direction, when we can take more responsibility over our life, then we can direct what direction we want that life to go into and who we want to hang out with. So, and why do you only have pieces of the puzzle? Why is it some of us are like, why don't we get the whole picture? You know, some people pray to their deities or to the universe or whatever and say, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. Well, it's not going to tell you what to do because it's you. And until you tell you what to do, then you're not going to know what to do. And why is it that you're even asking for it to tell you what to do? Is because you haven't yet accessed that information. That most of the time is in plain sight. And we'll touch on that a little bit today as well. So we're given pieces of the puzzle because as universe that expressed itself and expanded itself and went through the hierarchy in our Shambhalan hierarchy and the God and the seven consciousness and into formation from the supernatural to the natural, or the metaphysical into the physical realm, it distributes all of that it is, which is us, but we've separated ourselves into millions and billions of people, places, and things. We're all one consciousness. Again, the energy that's in me is the energy that's in you. The water that's in one fish is the same water in all the other fish, if that makes sense. And so we're feeling that we're missing these pieces of the puzzle because not any one of our brains can handle all there is in our supercomputer called our brain. Even though it's a supercomputer, it still cannot handle all the information there is. So what it does, it gets redistributed or distributed amongst all beings, all places, all things. And as we begin to take responsibility for our thoughts, actions, and emotions and stop blaming other people for why we are the way we are and take action on that, when we act on those ions, we manifest those ions and start attracting or repelling that which we no longer want or do want in our life. And so our brains can only handle so much information, and that information would be an overload to all of us. Not all the world's information can go into one computer, cannot go into your laptop, but what we do have is access to all the information on the web. It's in the cloud, it's on other computers, it's everywhere. But our own little computer that may have 2 terabytes of information cannot handle 50 bazillion terabytes of information. And so it has to be distributed properly, and when you're ready for it, you then have the ability to access that information, make sense of that information, and that information is just how you are forming ions. And it's information is in form at ions or information. So if I want to form my life the way I want to form it, then I have to put it in a formation, and we talked about that in the last video. So we know that there's too much information for anyone, so why then some of us are given some parts and other people are given other parts to make our life make sense? And in order for that redistribution or that distribution to happen of cosmic information in every person, place, or thing, it's got to come back together. It expanded, then it needs to contract back to itself. It divided, and now we're starting to come back in a unification. or an opportunity, a port for unity. And so as we seek these avenues, these higher conscious states, these portals, these gateways to knowledge, we begin to attract because we're pulling or attracting those ions to us by repelling things that no longer work for us, maybe tribal or societal information, the way they form their ions. And as you learned from those systems and then questioned or quested those ions from that system, and that system didn't give you the answers that resonate with your frequency, then you hopefully are eliminating those. And by taking responsibility over your thoughts, actions, and emotions, and claiming ownership over them, because as long as there's a problem persisting in your life, it's because it doesn't have an owner. And so until you claim it as the owner, then you can probably help that ship sail. And by having the ability to take responsibility for all that, then you start attracting the people, places, and things that have the rest of your information, the other puzzle pieces. As well, you'll have the answers to other people's puzzle pieces. And the idea is that the unification happens so that we can all come together once again, and not in today's 2022 version of divisional. The powers that be want you divided. But if you are choosing to be with the unified force, then we are bringing ourselves together. So you have pieces of information that I don't have that maybe give me some solace to why things happen in my life. Or I have the ability over the decades to be able to look at other people's pieces, and then I can then plug and play my information or the information I have access to, that when I resonate with them, I can pick up on what's missing. And again, missing is missing ions. Missing ion is mission. You're here on a mission because you're missing ions, so you're here to collect those pieces, if that makes sense. We're here to reconnect to our heart and our mind. And as we connect our heart and mind, we connect to other people who have connected their hearts and mind, and they then bring us our puzzle pieces that then make sense to us and gives us purpose and meaning to our life. Make sense? All right. So we basically we're going to be playing with these words a little bit. I'm just going to play with some words. We can play with these all night long, but as long as you understand that no word as that is affixed or adhered, there's no rule or regulation in the universe that says two letters or a bunch of letters need to come together forever. And so letters are just symbols, and symbols are just the symbols, the letters, which are symbols, and the symbols are just icons for energy. And so until your brain can understand pure energy, then we have to use symbols and then words and sentences and stories and so forth. But as we begin to hear people's stories and just pick up on the frequency, the subtle tones, the subtones, and then be able to match that tone with information we have, that the way we formed it, and then present them with their information through reflection. Making sense? All right, so we're going to play with some of those words and bring them together. So I'll play with word passion. We talked about that in the last video, the last couple of videos. That passion is just when you're excited about something. You want to serve everyone with the information, the way you formed your ions with other people, that you're excited. Your heart comes to life. Your mind comes alive. And so passion is just passing ion, or passing the energy that's coming out of you onto other people. And that doesn't mean my information's right. It's just the way I formed it. But I'm excited about the way I formed my information, and I just serve that information to you here, free. And when I pass my ions, I'm taking action. I'm acting on my ions. That means that I'm going out purposefully with meaning and sharing my message, right? And then with that, hopefully I come across, and yes, I know I can come across a lot of left brain style here, but underneath the core to who I am and the way I've done it is through compassion. And so compassion is compass ions. And now again, compass is just, within compassion is compass. So the compass of ions. And so it gives you direction once you take ownership of your energy and then tell the energy what to do, how to organize it, put it in a formation, your information, and then you're able then to create. You become the creator of energy. We were created from energy. Now our job is to serve the creator by creating energy and then passing that energy to other people passionately with compassion. See, it's all the same words here that I'm using, right? So I mean, my head is redundant, but it may sound like different words, but they're not. They're all the same underwave tone of energy, right? And so once we are able to become the creators of our own energy through responsibility of our thoughts, actions, and emotions, then we have fun with our life. It's recreation. Recreation is the same word as recreation. We can recreate ions. So if you like what you're doing with your life, continue to recreate. But if you aren't, then repel those and attract that which is your life, what you're passionate about. We're not talking about money or any of that. That's a man-made thing. There is God's money, if you will, universal money, which is gold, silver, and what I call the second consciousness, cryptocurrencies. And that's, you can go back to some of my other videos that I may put back up, but if not, they're on my other channel, Crypto Casual. You can look at some of that, but I'm sort of closing that channel down and then transferring it all over to here. But this new energy that's coming in is consciousness 2.0, if you will. And it has to do with compassion. It has about putting our hearts and minds back together again. But the powers that be want to divide you. They want to division is divided vision, or two visions. And so they want you to look over here, but your heart and mind says, no, I need to look over here. But as long as you're looking at their vision, and vision is visa, meaning life, their life version of their life energy, they get your life energy. But if you don't want them to have your life energy, then you need to unify your vision, right? And then begin to receive the information that you want in this life, not what other people want you to want, but what you want. And if you don't want, and you're missing pieces of the puzzle and what direction to go, you don't have the direction, and that's part of your mission, is you're missing these ions. So by you taking responsibility over your thoughts, actions, and emotions, then you'll start getting direction. You'll start meeting the people that have your missing puzzle pieces, right? But if you're not willing to take responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and emotions, right? And what I mean by that, really, it means going into yourself, and you're the creator. Again, you're the creator of your energy and the way you want to create it. And you're the one who's creating the thoughts. No one's creating your thoughts for you. No one's tapping into your brain and going, I'm thinking for you. Only if you're divided. If you're divided, then you're purposely saying, please put your thoughts into my energy. And therefore, you're going to get their results and outcome. But if you don't want their results and outcome, then you need to take responsibility for your thoughts, that you're the creator of your thoughts. And the emotions is just emoting ions, or energy in motion. So I take responsibility for how I move my ions, or my energy, or my thoughts, right? In my heart, my compassion. And so once I learn how to open my heart and receive, then I'm open, and people will come into my life that have my missing pieces of the puzzle that helps clarify my purpose, my mission, or my missing ions on this planet. And so through that, I'm able again to transmit those ions, my transmission. I'm able to move my mission, which is now all together as a mission, not missing anything, but I understand myself fully of what I am, and I'm always growing to know more. And then those people will come with more information. But as long as I have my core value, and then I can evaluate my ions, or evaluation is the value of my energy. And what is it that I'm passing to other people? Am I passing love and compassion, or hate, division? Right? And neither one's wrong or right, but which one's working for you? And if you're missing things out of your life, then you may want to look at where your heart and mind's not together, because you're not taking responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and emotions. Right? I'm going to keep hitting that thought, action, and emotion, because I really want you to focus on those. So now once you have that, and you're living your life, then you're re-evolving or evolving. Evolves is just the same anagram as loves. So if you love constantly changing and moving, which energy does, it's always in motion, it can't stay stagnant, then we end up with solutions, or we're able to solve, which is loves, solves our own ions, or solve our energy, or love our energy. And so that creates a reconnection of our energy. And these secrets are all in plain sight. So what I'm showing you is your direction is directed ions. The ions are showing you which way to go. Right? But if you don't listen because your heart's closed off, because you're still blaming others for your pain, then you're not going to hear or see or feel the words. So these secrets are in plain sight. So when you see ions, none of these words are adherent, but it's a energy direction sign. is saying, please pay attention, go this way. If that makes sense. And so that's our mission, in essence, of why you're here on this planet, is to collect all the information, put it together, and then serve in a whole, in a unified way. All right, so that's why some of y'all may feel your life's purpose, you don't know what that is, or you may feel less than, or you're missing pieces. Again, you're a holder of divine knowledge, and our goal is to increase the capacity to take on more God energy. Again, non-anthropomorphic, non-religious God, but it's the God that comes after the hierarchy. And we'll get into a whole episode of ARC in a later date, but right now it's about the ions. Once we understand ions and then we understand ARC, then that's the heart and the mind, and that's where we're able to come together as a people. Right? So as long as you're divided, your thoughts are divided, then they're not your thoughts. So figure out which ones are your thoughts. And again, there's nothing really to figure out. You just have to go within, sit with yourself, and look at the thoughts that you're thinking. And the way you know what thoughts you're thinking is by the outcomes or the experiences you're having in your life. If everyone that you meet is yelling at you, then where are you yelling at yourself? Whatever you deem to be going on outside of you is just a reflection or a reflected ion back at you. Because we're all light. We're all mirrors, if you will. So that's going to be it for today. It should be a short one, but I don't think it's a short one. Mine are never really short, but I appreciate you hanging out with me. I love all you guys, and please like, subscribe, share all that good stuff for me, and I'll see you next episode.